What's up guys, Gary G back again, bringing another pomade review, and today I'm going to bring you a waxed based heavy hold pomade review. It's home brewed. Anybody in the pomade community on the Facebook sites and all that, you guys are going to know about this. It's the Ominous Style Company's heavy hold Embalmers grease. Now I was pretty stoked to get this one, for one because I was asked to review it, which is awesome. Two, I'd seen so much on the medium that I was just excited to see what the heavy could do. And three, just because it looks so awesome. It's awesome for this time of year too. It's got a graveyard picture in the background there in purple. Real cool, real metal, real Halloweenish, so it's a perfect time for this to come out. Right here you got like your off-white, normal yellow color, super waxy. You hear it right here. It is definitely heavy stuff. If you guys know me, you know I don't like heavies. But this one was actually kind of something that I enjoyed. To be honest, as soon as I had felt it and first scooped it out, I was a little bit scared, I gotta be honest. It was gonna rip some hair out. But, you know, knowing Nick Danini, the brewer, before he started making pomades, he would always post pictures with super heavy stuff. So when I got this, I also had in the back of my mind that he might have made it real heavy. And it turned out to be real heavy. So this is a, I believe this one is the graveyard scent. It's kind of herbally, minty, kind of dirty smelling, kind of dirt smelling. It's good. I've also got the medium here, which I'm also going to review. This one is the morgue scent, which is more minty than anything, really. It's less earthy and more minty. It smells really good too. We're going to go ahead and scoop this out. As you can see, it's pretty tough. And I'm going to scoop that top layer. And I'm putting a ton of pressure. And it is, let me get it to focus here. Ribbon right out. Now, you put it in your hand. And you spread it out. You got to put a pretty good amount of pressure. But you just go for it here till your hands are on fire. And it actually spreads out pretty easy. No chunks or anything in it. Applying to the hair, definitely feels like a heavy. It's going in with a lot of grip, but I will say that it's not nearly as bad as some of the other heavies or super heavies out there. But it is definitely grippy, and I would recommend that you apply it to damp hair, just because it goes in a little easier. Now the layer underneath, right here, this layer underneath here is a lot more creamy, a lot easier to get out. Then I'm going to go ahead and break it down into small scoops. That way I can make sure to get an even distribution. That way I don't get straight hairs. That's the problem that I usually have with heavies, is I am not the best in the world at applying heavy pomades. I don't have a ton of experience. I have much more now than I used to, but I am not an avid heavy user, so I am still in the process of learning the ways to apply heavy pomades to my hair. And my hair texture is, the strands are really fine. There's a lot of hair, but the strands are real fine. So super waxy pomades like this, they pull my hair a lot, and it could be quite uncomfortable and painful. So I took out a little bit bigger scoop this time. Try to break it down here. You can see right there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hair on there. It's pulling some hair out, but it's not painful. I will repeat that, it is pulling hair, but it's not real painful. So all you super heavy guys out there, you will absolutely be a fan of this if you haven't tried it yet. And I'm surprised actually more people haven't picked this up. This is something that I haven't seen a ton of people trying out, which is kind of shocking to me, being that I feel, at least in the Everything Pomade group, there's a ton of heavy users. So, you know, I was actually kind of shocked to see there wasn't too much on this. Nick, when he approached me to do this review, was saying that there were no reviews on it. And at the time there wasn't. But now there is one review that I know of, and that is by Javier Rodriguez. And he does a really good review on the heavy. So I will also, if I remember, I'll also link that in the description of my video if you want, so you can go check out his video. It's always good to get multiple opinions on a product before you buy it. So I'm gonna take one more scoop on top. And this stuff, like I said, is super thick. Super thick. And it is just very thick. Absolutely super, super thick pomade. So one thing I noticed about this pomade is that it applies super heavy to the hair. I mean, it is smooth for how heavy it is, but it applies like a super heavy would as far as grip. And if you style with water, or you apply it with water, you're going to feel a lot more grip while styling, so you have to get more height out of it. But once that water dries out of your hair, it sits at about just a regular heavy, and then once you comb it, it drops down to about a medium heavy. And the reason why I think that is because it's like a super thick cream paste texture. It's just not like extremely sticky. And I think that lack of stick and the high wax content is what causes a lot of the hair to separate. It doesn't stick together as well, so you don't get as much hold. So you get a lot of stray hairs if you recomb, which is what I experienced. And I definitely am not someone who usually doesn't have to deal with stray hairs, if that makes sense. It happens to me a lot with my hair type. Get a lot of stray hair problems. So I've said it before, I have thin strands of hair, so I need a sticky pomade to hold them all together. And in my experience, I was actually lacking that a little bit in this. Not a huge bit, but a little bit. So let me continue to comb through this. I know I didn't talk about it before, but combing through it is actually pretty easy. It's pretty satisfying for a heavy. More or less, it combs like a firm. So that is that's absolutely a plus. Changing directions with the hair is not really that it's uncomfortable. It's just you're definitely going to feel it because of that wax content. So I'm going to go ahead and get to styling with this. I'm going to use the Afro pick because of how thick it is. I tend to have a little bit better styling with the Afro pick when it's super thick, super waxy pomade. So I'm gonna mess around with this for just a little bit. This stuff is super, super thick. Super thick, super waxy. So I am making sure that all this stuff is laying down. With waxy pomades, I tend to get hair that wants to stand up. That is just one of the problems I have with my hair texture and super waxy pomades. So run the denim back across here, make sure everything's laying down. I'm going to do a couple little finishing touches here right there. So normally I would style this off camera, but I'm going to try to give you guys the full deal of what it's like on camera. So I have a few strays that I am working with right now. Let me make sure I can get these all worked out real quick. Like I said, for a heavy, this pomade actually styles pretty good. It's actually not bad. I usually have issues styling with heavies, like I was saying, just because of the stray hairs, which I do have, don't get me wrong, but this one is not nearly as bad as some of the other ones that I've had. So something like an Indonesian brew or something. Those are, for my hair type, it's just way too waxy. Way too waxy. So I'm gonna call it good. I do have some strays. It's not 100% how I want it. And that's just because it takes me a lot longer to style with heavy pomades, and especially wax heavy pomades. So my hair is actually fighting me right now. Anyways, like I said, I'm just gonna call it because I don't want to be here doing a bunch of tweaks on camera. So when you look at my hair, you're gonna notice that there is there's definitely some splitting. There's a little bit of separation as far as the hair goes. Like up in the front here, it is separating a little bit. Try to work with that real quick. When I wore this the last time, I actually didn't have too many problems with the wax doing this. It just figures that it does this on camera. That's usually how it works. You go in to do a review and it gives you some issues. So, okay, I swear, that's it. I'm not messing with it anymore. So, overall, look at the hair. See the front here? Looks pretty decent. I know I got some hair sticking up right here that I'm gonna have to battle with for a little bit. But in my experience, it lays down. Side looks pretty good. Back should look pretty good. I know I got some hair standing up. Got some short hair back there. Part looks pretty good. And overall, I'm satisfied with this pomade. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm more of a fan of heavies that are heavy because they're sticky, as opposed to heavies that are heavy because they're waxy. Pomades that are like that, or like Goon Grease, for example, is not really super waxy. It's just really sticky. And Lockhart's Heavy is the waxier version of that. Now, for my hair type, the stickiness works better. So for that, I would hope that this was more sticky as opposed to waxy. That would be my preference. The scent is good. It kind of goes away. It's a little odd. It's kind of in the middle for me. I like it, but you know, overall, it's a really good pomade, and the buildup is really thick, like super thick, and a lot stays in, and it's a real heavy wax buildup, and it is good. But it took me a little bit longer to style with it after the buildup, actually. So I recommend shampooing your buildup just to kind of keep it a little bit softer. So, anyways. Embalmers Grease Heavy, this is what I think of it. If you guys have a different experience with it, let me know in the comments down below, and we can start a discussion about it if you want. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching as always. You guys have a good day, alright? Peace out.